For the last few years, tensions have been simmering in the Taiwan Strait, but now the tensions have escalated and seem closer to their peak than ever before. In response to Beijing's unprecedented drills encircling Taiwan, Taipei is holding exercises designed to show its military preparedness for war. Taiwanese Air Force demonstrated some of its most powerful anti-aircraft weaponry. Flexing its muscles in the face of Chinese war games, Taiwanese F-16 fighter jets roared into the sky in a show of force. China kicked off its largest ever military drills in the region, including launching ballistic missiles after the U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi's Taiwan visit. Beijing was triggered further and expanded its exercises after a U.S. lawmakers' delegation visited Taipei after Nancy Pelosi's trip. And in the latest, 51 warplanes and 6 warships belonging to China were spotted in areas around Taiwan. Out of the 51 warplanes, at least 25 had crossed the median line or entered southwestern part of Taiwan's air defense zone. What you see right now is a video released by Taiwan. It shows how close the Chinese military drills were to Taiwanese vessels. And these videos were reportedly taken between the 13th and the 15th of August. The president of Taiwan, who has so far stood up to Xi Jinping, visited the island's Soao naval base on the northeastern coast to boost the morale of the naval forces. Tsai Ing-wen thanked them for their efforts amid Chinese escalation.
In the face of China's harassment and provocation outside Taiwan's territorial waters, it is even more necessary to keep an eye on the dynamics of enemy ships all the time. The pressure is so great that it is indescribable.
Meanwhile, in the face of growing Chinese coercion, Taiwan and the United States also announced plans for trade talks in early autumn. The US says Beijing is likely to continue to squeeze the self-ruled democracy as its own. Beijing views Taiwan as its own territory, to be seized one day by force if necessary. Washington diplomatically recognizes Beijing over Taipei but maintains de facto relations with Taiwan and supports the island's right to decide its future. And for more on this, Xin-Xing Liu is reporting for WION from Taipei, Taiwan. Have a look.
It's been more than 2 weeks since U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan, and I would say that the military tension coming from the People's Liberation Army has increased day by day. The president of Taiwan, President Tsai Ing-wen, has released the latest footage on Thursday, and in there was actually a never-before-seen footage of how a Taiwanese Navy frigate has sailed closely and basically intercepted a PLA Navy Type 054A class frigate. And from my sources, they actually confirmed to me that this video was taken in between the 13th to 15th August, though locations are known. But you need to know that the time period was actually after the PLA has announced that they have completed military drills around Taiwan on the 10th of August, and they are actually changing to conduct regular combat-ready patrols. But you see, combat-ready patrols, this is actually nobody really know what the Chinese is trying to say through that. But from the footage released by the Taiwan Defense Ministry, no doubt military tension be it in the sky or in the waters, are still very high. Just to give you some numbers, on the 18th of August, a total of 51 PLA aircraft and 6 PLA Navy vessels have actually conducted military exercises around Taiwan, and of which 25 actually crossed the median line in the Taiwan Strait. The Chinese have claimed that the Taiwan Strait's median line is non-existent and illegitimate. But you need to understand that the median line is actually existent for many decades, trying to keep the status quo and peace in this region. But no doubt, in the near future, and probably for the next few months, we are going to see increasing military pressure coming from China towards Taiwan. This is Xingting Liu from Taipei, Taiwan.
As China-Taiwan tensions simmer, WION goes on the ground.
Tensions between Beijing and Taipei are at an all-time high, but the big question on everyone's mind is, will China invade Taiwan?
Decoding the US-China face-off.
Behind the Chinese fury is the Americans. Tensions peaked when US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei, and that was a red line for Beijing.
From people to the politics, WION gets you all sides of the story from Taiwan.
Taiwan matters to the world.
New Delhi, Washington and Beijing. Most comprehensive coverage of the big battle between superpowers.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.